Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So first, let me start off by saying it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, which is like the time that I usually do these. But I'm so excited for everybody to be back, and I'm so excited for the second video that I'm putting out. So as I said in the previous video, this video is all about my favorite book of all time. I mean, like, no matter what I read, nothing will or has compared to this book. And I just love it so much. It's kind of been a part of my life. It's been something that I've always held dear to me for like a very long time. Since I think it's been about 18 to about 9 years now. And that is Bud Not Buddy by Christopher Paul Curtis. This is literally my favorite book ever. It's a historical fiction set in the backdrop of 1942, I want to say, or is it like 36? Yeah, 1936. And it's about a boy named Bud Caldwell, who, after being sent to a foster home, decides to run away and find the man who he believes to be his father. Now, Bud honestly is only moving on like an inkling, because he believes that his mom kind of left him clues before she died of who his father is. So he decides to take this cross-country tour to find the man who he's not even positive is his father, which I honestly think takes either a lot of guts or a lot of foolishness. Now, this story is so interesting because it's at the same time frighteningly realistic and very adventurous. The situation that Bud finds himself in are hilarious for one. At the same time, they're very scary because, you know, he's living in a time of the Great Depression, and so you while you're reading this, you're getting a lot of understanding of what it was like living in the Great Depression. Now, the one of the things that I find so adorable about Bud is that he has this suitcase that he carries around with him. Now, because I don't want to, spoil anything, I'm not going to tell you what's in the suitcase. But everything in the suitcase has a purpose and is very important to Bud for, different reasons. And I find that it's great that, like, when he decides to run away, that's the only thing he takes with him. Now, the characters that Bud meets are so hilarious and so relatable. And I just find myself, falling for them every time. This is a story that, I keep reading and it never gets old. I think I first read this book in 3rd grade. I was 9. Yeah, I was 9 in the 3rd grade. And my English teacher, Mr. Stalin, shout out, he had a class set of these. And we would read along to the audio. And I remember that I started getting really into this book. Like, I would try to like sneak ahead and read because, audiobooks, as cool as some people, might think they are, for me, sometimes they just don't read fast enough. I'm like a quick thinker, so I need to go fast. I need to go, at my pace. And audiobooks, sometimes they just don't do it for me. This book was not doing it for me. I mean, yeah, the woman had like a nice voice, but she wasn't reading as fast as I was reading, and she wasn't reading as fast as I wanted to go. Because when I get into something, I need to know, and I need to know now. So I'm honestly racing towards the end of this book. I can't wait to see what's happening. So I would sneak, and get like 5 pages ahead, and then Mr. Stalin would like catch me, and he would like thump me. Or he would like throw something at me and make me go back to the page before. But now I'm just rereading pages that I've already read, and I'm just like, ugh. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part was when we finally got to the part that I was at, and then like the bell would ring, and I would have to go home, and I can't finish this book until I come back to school the next day. But by then I'm just like pacing and I'm worrying myself. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening now? What's gonna happen? And when I get obsessed about something, I get obsessed. It's all I can think about. It's all I can talk about for forever. Anybody who knows me knows that when I'm interested in something, I'm interested in something. I delve deep. I don't stop talking about it for like months, if you're lucky. So this book was it was my first book that I had read that had really captured my interest. And it was also the first book that I read that was not a picture book. You know, before then I was reading a bunch of like Judy Moody or Judy B. Jones or like Captain Underpants. I was reading a lot of picture books. This is the first book that I've ever read that was not a picture book. And then that's when I realized there was something really magical about reading something that had no pictures, because the setting and the people, they give you the descriptions, but at the end of the day, what they look like is all up to your imagination. And your imagination, I don't know if you guys are like this, but for me, my imagination sometimes is either really good or it's really bad. Sometimes I can't, my brain can't process everything the way it should. I think it's because it's moving too fast and just trying to piece everything together while also changing things out. It's crazy. But this is the first book that, you know, didn't have pictures, and I was honestly able to picture everything as it was happening. And I was able to kind of submerge myself into the book. And I didn't know that could happen, especially with books without pages. I mean, sorry. I had to burp. I didn't know that could happen with, you know, books that didn't have pictures. And that was the first time I was kind of thinking about like, this is cool. This is interesting. I like this. And so But Not Buddy honestly introduced me to the world of books. It was the first book that I had read that was based in a real place during a real time, you know, and I didn't think those books could be interesting. But it was so interesting. And it was so interesting to see how people lived then compared to how I live now. In some of the situations, it's just wild to think about. There's a scene in the book where I don't want to spoil it. Okay, it's not a spoiler. I'm not gonna, you know, say a lot about it. There's a scene where they talk about Hoovervilles, and that is interesting because it's actually historically, you know, accurate. During the Great Depression, when President Hoover was, you know, the president, the economy was in such a bad, you know, state that people were actually living in cardboard boxes in communities called Hooverville. And it was so interesting to not only enjoy like a book just to enjoy it, but also to learn something about it also. Because anybody, you know, who knows me knows I like history. It's my thing. I enjoy it on occasion. And by occasion, I mean I enjoy it a lot. Like, history is my thing. And so it was cool to, you know about history or learn about history, but not feel like I'm being taught it. It's just like little drops of information here, and you're like, huh, that's interesting. I'm going to just take that and put it in my pocket. So I'll put it in my pocket, and now I know that. But this book was honestly just great. It's such a great book. Bud honestly is one of the funniest characters I've ever read about. And it's not that he's funny because he tries to be. It's just that is how he is. He has this thing called Bud Caldwell's Rules and Things to have a funner life and make a better liar out of yourself. And his rules are ridiculous, but they show you kind of his age, and they show you what he has been through and what helped him cultivate, you know, these rules. Some of it is kind of like, wow, you really have to go through that to understand this. And some of it is just like, I don't think that's the best idea. Just from, you know, a side point of view, I just don't think doing this is going to get you where you need to go. But, you know, I'm going to let you do you, and I'm going to let you figure it out. But his rules are so funny, but they're so relatable. And it's just great. Like, Bud as a character is one of the most humble and hardworking, smart, and just most endearing characters I've read about to this day. Now, that's not saying that there are other books that I've read that I don't, you know, think are on his level, but there's something special about Bud in the way that he tells you about his past, in the way that he so eagerly and so hopefully moves towards his goal. And the thing that I think is honestly the most inspiring about Bud is the fact that even when things get hard, there's not a moment when he says, I want to quit. There's not a moment when he just says, this isn't worth it. To Bud, he's put his whole life on the line to find this one man. And he never for a second regrets it. And I think that is honestly the coolest thing. Because, you know, in books, it's easy to put a sword in a person's hand and tell him to fight a dragon. And him, you know, beat the dragon. Because that's what people are expecting. But this is, I think, a 12-year-old kid who's traveling across the world to a destiny or to a destination that he's not even honestly sure about. And with every step, there is not an ounce of what's the word I'm looking for? Of doubt. There's not an ounce of doubt in his step. Bud may not know his final destination, but he knows where he's going. And he knows he's going to get there. And I honestly find that to be one of his greater traits. Because it's not easy. I can't even walk to the store by myself, honestly, without, you know, getting a little paranoid. He walked across the country. And I just love this book. I honestly think it's one of the greatest books ever written, personally to me. Now you guys might read it and you might think, she hyped this up. It ain't even that good. Well, you can fight me, okay? You can fight me because this is a great book. I love it, and you're not gonna tell me it's not great. Like honestly, I think everybody has a great opinion. Everybody has their own opinion, and you know, I might not like what you like, and I get that. But Bud Not Buddy is that book. If you tell me it's bad, like, you can catch me outside because we can fight. Not really. I'm a pacifist. But just to end this video off, I just want you guys to kind of understand how much this book means to me. This was like the beginning of my book journey. This is really what got me into reading in the first place. Because there was something about being in two worlds at once. I'm in reality, and then I'm in the world that I choose to put myself in. This book written by this person. You know, I'm in this world that this person wrote. And so there's something magical to me about being in two worlds at once and really understanding and being along for the journey. And Bud's journey is truly the most magical one without having, you know, magic. Sorry, I burped again. But I mean, that's really all I can say. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you give it a try. If you are going to give it a try, if you have read the book, you know, leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you liked about it, and if you haven't even read it, you know, tell me what's your favorite book. What is the book that has you just smiling every time you think about it, you know? But, you know, leave a like, leave a comment, and, you know, subscribe to my channel. My next video, I'm going to try to get them out every Monday because, you know, I just wanted that kind of consistency. So my next video will be Monday. And when I get, you know, more comfortable with this, I might start to increase the amount of videos I'm putting out per week. But until next time, this has been Queen's Book World, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!